Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Yankee Content Central. So today I'm going to be recapping the Arizona series, Yankees versus DBacks, which ended about 10 seconds ago, really like 5 minutes ago, but trying to calm down and post the post-game graphics. So that's up, so let's get to it because I have work in the morning, so I want to recap this as efficiently and quickly as possible so I can go to sleep. So, Yankees, Game 1. Will Warren pitched against Corbin Burns. Jason Dominguez hit his first long ball. So Jason hit his first home run of the season. He actually had, and I'm going to get a little bit more into him in a minute. He didn't have the worst series, actually. He really didn't. So we'll get to him in a second. Then we had Volpito, as he's being called everywhere right now. So Anthony Volpe. So Volpito goes deep. And then someone was still rocking a baby over at first, and I thought if anyone was going to get us in this game today, it was going to be him. I think he got he was the only one Carrasco couldn't get out all day, but there was an at bat somewhere where I was like, this Bowser is going to fucking get us right here. I thought for sure that if there was any shot that they were going to come back, which once Weave was in, I didn't think they were coming back. He got, where was it? Where was he? He was on deck in the 9th inning. So if Pavin Smith didn't strike out, which he annoys me, I don't know what. There's something about him, Pavin, that just pisses me off. I don't know what it is. But if Pavin didn't get out and he got on somehow against Weaver, I thought for sure that freaking Naylor was going to rock the freaking baby right around the bases, because that's something he would do in that spot. That's just something that the Yankees, no matter who's on the mound, even though I just said, and I'll stand by it, I said in a text, once Weaver was on, I really did feel confident that it's like, okay, finally Boone made a decent decision this series, and I'll get to Boone in just a second. So here's Josh Naylor in Game 1. What even was that? So Dominguez, I'm going to talk about him a lot more in this recap. He really, offensively, this series was good, and defensively in certain spots. I'll talk about that in a second, because there was a play I thought he should have made tonight that ended up costing the grand slam. Will Warren went 5 innings, 1 hit, 2 earned, 4 walks, 4 strikeouts, 1 home run. Very good outing. Very good outing from Will. You know what? He was eligible for the win had the Yankees held on. I will discuss that in a second. He looked dominant. He had a stature about him that he was like, I'm going to get this. I'm going to do this. He allowed the 1 hit. The walks are a lot. I don't like the walks, but he got double plays in certain spots. I don't like the walks at all. I don't like walks ever. Even today, the walks came back to kill him. But I'll get to today. So then Fernando Cruz comes in. It's like, okay, the Yankees are cruising through the 6th and 7th inning with Fernando on the mound striking everyone out. I think he got 2 outs via a ground out and a fly out. Not in that order. But he's throwing this filth. They couldn't pick him up. They couldn't pick his stuff up for anything. He looked awesome. Then, final score. That was it for the Yankee highlights. So what happened, you might ask? Well, if you didn't watch Game 1, Aaron Boone decided to get cocky with a lead. He put in Tim Hill, which is fine. He put Tim Hill in. He surrenders a double and a single and then a ground out to the pitcher where he throws the lead runner out at second. So you have a runner on first, 1 man out with Ketel Marte coming to the plate. This is where I get upset with Boone and this is where I call him out on a lot of things, because this is where I believe he costed us the game. I get what he said in the post game. He wanted to flip Ketel Marte around to his weaker side. But then again, his stronger side, I think they got him on his stronger side today in a big spot. Oh, wait, no, he singled on a fly ball from the left side. Okay, I'm going to talk about that single from Ketel Marte. I'll talk about that when I get to today's game. I would have left Hill in and hedged my bet with getting him out or a ground out or striking him out, because Hill doesn't give up the home run. I would have hedged my bet. I'm not Aaron Boone. Clearly, they had something. I don't know. Ketel Marte walks against Leiter. Then the next batter walks against Leiter. Leiter gets Josh Naylor to strike out somehow. And then on a 2-2 pitch, Leiter Jr. throws an inside cutter that landed in the seats. And it was a go-ahead grand slam. Ben Rice hit a home run in this game. Here's the Ben Rice home run. I don't have the Ben Rice home run. Hold on. I don't know why I don't have the Ben Rice home run. Let me pull that up. How is it not here? Let me get the Ben Rice home run. I definitely have it somewhere. Anyways, Ben Rice hit a home run in the 9th inning, brought them, I think, within like 2 runs or something. Ben Rice. Come on. It might block you guys because here, this. All right, quick ad. So this is MLB Film Room for those who don't know. MLB Film Room is a free site where you can filter like down to the at bats and stuff. And you know what? I'll pull up his metrics right there on the home run in a second. So here's the home run itself. And that was that for the night. So here's the Ben Rice statistics on the home run after another 15-second ad. This is important, and this will go into today's game as well, even though it was like a bloop double, because Thomas probably... Did they even call it a double? I don't know if they even called it a double. They did call it a double. I thought it was a double. Okay, so it was his bat speed was 74.3 miles an hour, 27 launch angle. Boom. And it went far, high, far, and gone. All right, there's that. Yankees bullpen blew it again. That's the article I wrote. This is ahead of the next game. People are on Twitter, obviously seeing what I saw. So every morning, because I'm a nut, not just for the Yankees, but for all games, I do this for gambling purposes. I'll get up and I'll look at the probables for all major league games and the numbers that the probable hitters, the matchups on the MLB Game Day app have against that pitcher. So obviously I looked for Yankee reasons at the Yankee game, and I noticed that their numbers are awful against Zach Gallen. Obviously, what ensued was just that. 4-0 Arizona in the 2nd inning. Rodon was not crisp at that point. He got an important double play in the 3rd, and he was money from there on. That was a game for sure that had this been like last year, he probably blows. So Rodon went 6 innings, 3 hits, 4 earned, 4 walks, 5 Ks through 96 pitches. Okay. 4 runs. That's, this is the Yankees, right? The Yankee offense. They put up 20 Saturday. They put up 12 on Sunday. Put up 9 today. That shouldn't be a problem, right? Wrong. They struck out 16 times, 13 against Zach Gallen. I did send Pablo Reyes to Guantanamo Bay because he was pissing me off because Aaron Boone signaled that he gave up in yesterday's game when he pinch hit Pablo Reyes for Cabrera there in the 8th inning last night. That was the white flag. I don't care about this game. That was the white flag. because Pablo Reyes' numbers, and Boone can't say, well, I put him in for defensive purposes when he has 2 errors on Saturday. So that's not going to cut it. So the reason, I don't know why he was in there. I would have probably put Peraza and hedged my bet because he had a pinch hit home run the other day. I would have hedged my bet with Peraza over him. So 4-3 Yankees lose. The Yankee offense, though, because you might be like, well, you just said blah, blah, blah. Okay, well, here's the Yankee offense. He looks so confused. Like, he looked so confused. It is the funniest thing. It was the funniest thing. He looked so confused. But it went out, so the Yankees avoided getting shut out. With that being said, home runs kill rallies in the 9th inning, especially when it's not a game-tying or winning home run. So, in essence, while it's great that they didn't get shut out, probably would have rathered a double in that spot, because then maybe the next guy comes up and hits a home run. You never know. Because it's like, oh, go ahead and tying runs at the plate. Okay, so here's Boone on the Yankee offense last night. It was in the 2nd inning, and they had 2nd and 3rd, 1 man out, and Dominguez and Rice both struck out. I'm not going to get on them for striking out because Zach Gallen was completely dealing. So if Boone's answer really should have been tip the cap. So I posted the Boone BS bingo. Obviously hit a bunch of them because Boone. I tweeted earlier that Boone should lead off Wells. And shocking, right? I said Boone should lead off Wells, shake up the lineup a little bit from the night before. One of the things the night before was guys weren't getting on in big spots. Wells and Boone's reasoning for not doing so was the reverse splits, and Gallen has reverse splits, and yada da da da. Well, guess what? Gallen gave up 3 hits, and if he had reverse splits as a righty, that means he has better numbers against righties. I mean, yeah. Right, yes, I think that's right. Well, guess what? The 2 hits came off lefties. Oh, wait, no. He has better numbers against lefties. Excuse me. If he has reverse splits as a righty, that means better numbers against lefties, which is why a righty led off. That's correct. My brain's not there. So, from that logic, Wells and Jazz had the 3 hits. Wells, 2 of them. Jazz, 1 of them. So the lefties were the ones getting the hits. I know it's only 3, but you don't think that it would have played into their game plan? Wells getting a hit maybe in front of Judge and Bellinger? That might have played into Gallen's game plan where it's like, oh, I better be careful with the zone right now. Ooh, I got a guy on for Judge. 1 swing of the back will put me in the hole. 1 swing of the back will bring us back into the game. Bring the Yankees back into the game. But Boone doesn't think like that. Yankees lose. All right, so coming into today, the Yankee lineup was certainly something. We kind of had a heads up by Jack Curry if you watched the post game. Michael K. Excuse me, not Curry. Michael K. kind of gave a heads up like, well, I heard, blah, blah, blah. Well, no, you didn't hear, you were told. And Boone said it on Talking Yanks on Tuesday that Wells was going to have today off because of the start tomorrow, and Goldschmidt was mentioned by K. So Yankees let off Rice, which, hey, it worked. He got on. Bellinger, Judge, Jazz, Dominguez. I really like Jazz behind Judge. I actually really like this lineup construction. I think what I would do tomorrow in Pittsburgh is I would lead off. I'll show who they're facing in a second. I gotta make the post. In fact, I could do that on the other screen while I'm showing this. I would lead off Wells tomorrow. and I would keep Bellinger 2, Judge 3. Judge looks more comfortable in the 3 hole. I don't know why. He really does. He just looks better, and there's no explanation for it other than he just looks good. And sometimes that's all it is. He looks better in the leadoff spot. I'm Judge in the 3rd spot. And Wells in the leadoff spot was fine on Thursday. I thought, as long as you get on, I don't care what you do, as long as you just get on base in front of the big boys. That's all I want from a leadoff hitter, is to get on base in front of the big boys. And the Yankees, did that today, and it ended up they capitalized runs. That first inning, which I called that home run, by the way, I texted my dad this morning, and I was like, Judge is going to hit a home run in the first inning today because it's going to be 70 degrees out. I think I figured out Judge's postseason struggles. While it's unacceptable, he just consistently does not hit when it's cold out. And we noticed it today. Like, he just consistently just doesn't hit when it's cold. So, we noticed it yesterday. He had the hit in the 9th inning yesterday. That was a hard hit ball. Obviously, a 3-hit performance today. Bunch of hard hit balls, the home run, the double, the single. He was a triple away from the cycle. So tomorrow is Max Fried against Mitch Kelleher. I'll show this in a minute. So I do think lead off tomorrow. I would definitely do. I would do Wells, but that's up to Boone. Boone thinks he knows lineup construction. I know he says he takes time and really thinks it over to make sure he knows exactly what he's doing, all that crap. But I want results. I don't want, well, this is how I thought. I want to win. That's all I want tomorrow. I want a W. All right, you're heading into Pittsburgh after, let's be honest, a not so great series against a very good Diamondback team. I said on this podcast on Sunday, this is going to be a litmus test for the Yankees. Do they pass or fail? Well, that's a tough answer. I'm going to give them a grade C. The reason I'm giving them a grade C and not like a failing grade is because in game 1, they had the lead offensively against one of the game's best. They knocked them out. They were on their way to winning. And the only thing that derailed them from winning the game was Mark Leiter Jr. and the bullpen imploding. So they passed that test, in my opinion. Then yesterday, you got to kind of recognize game with game. Zach Gallen's a really good pitcher. He's an ace. Unfortunately, the Yankees had to face him. And while that's a tough thing, it is what it is. And you move on. They couldn't get anything going offensively. It was go back and try it out today. And that's what the Yankees did. So I'll get to today right now. So Yankees come out today. Cookie goes 1-2-3 in the first inning, and I'll get to his... Oh, come on. I'll get to Carrasco's full start. Hold on, I'm going back to this. I'll go to Carrasco's full start in a second. But Judge starts the bottom of the inning like this. Or not starts. Wells hits a bloop double. That was really a misplay. But, hey, counts in the scorebook as a double. Counts for the Yankees as a run. Bellinger then works a walk and puts Merrill Kelly in immediate trouble. Now, Judge hit his first of the year a year ago today in Arizona off Merrill Kelly. So, when I'm looking this morning, I'm like, Judgy and Bellinger have good numbers off of Merrill Kelly. Bellinger went over today, but he did walk. So here's Judge in the first inning. So it was such an important, start because it was Yeah, he laid down the law early. He set, okay, he literally set the, we're not going down without a fight, never back down, never surrender, we're going to come back, we're going to win this game. We're not losing this series. And that's what they did. And we'll get to how they did it in a second. So then we have Grisham with the bloop double. A lot of bloop doubles in this game. I noticed a lot of bloop doubles and bloop hits in the outfield. I mentioned it on Sunday. I'm going to mention it again. I feel like these balls are carrying a lot more. And it's not just the torpedo. I feel like just in general, the balls are carrying more this year. I know Major League Baseball wants more offense. Is it possible 2019 balls are back? I want them back. I like offense. I don't want to sit there and watch nothing for the day. I want to watch, yesterday Zach Gallen masterclass. And, juice ball or no juice ball, torpedo bat, no torpedo bat, no one's touching them. But the Yankees obviously knocked around Merrill Kelly today. Him scoring, Dominguez scoring from first there is kind of important. He had a scorching single before that. Here's Grisham again. So 6-1 New York. Cookie gives back 2. And then Judge comes up with an opportunity to drive in more runs. So I didn't get this, and the broadcast kind of mentioned it. Why wouldn't you? I mean, that run's getting driven in anyway, and we'll get to that in a second. Why wouldn't you have walked Judge there? Or any time in, like, the late innings tonight? I know they were able to get him out as the night went on. Why the hell wouldn't you just put him on? Like, seriously. If I were the opposing manager, I would not let him beat me in that spot. Because it's 6-3 at that point. Is it 6-3? Yeah, it's 6-3 at that point. That made it 7-3. 6-3, you're still in the game, and obviously, that run probably scores anyway with this. Pimped it. He absolutely pimped that home run. He has got some aura. He has got some aura. So, Ben Rice had this double play today. Fantastic double play. And I guess shout out Malachi Moore, the second base umpire. He had a really good day there today. Some tough calls late. The Jazz stolen base, and I give him credit for making the correct call. Because the second base umpire did the other night, it was in this series, or what? There was a second base umpire, one of these games, that made an incorrect call that actually went the Yankees' way, where Volpe pushed someone completely off the bag and was ruled out. I thought Volpe pushed him off. The umpire said differently. I think it was Sunday. Anyways, Malachi Moore, who had an awful home plate the other night. All the home plate umpires this series had a really, really bad home plate. Andy Fletcher last night, awful. Rob Drake tonight did not have a good night behind home plate. The low pitch to Judge, the low pitch to Grisham, the low pitch to Rice in big spots. He did not have a good night behind home plate. Let's be real. But Malachi Moore at second base today, Perdomo was really trying to sell it that he was off the bag. And he's like, no. And then Torey Lovullo went to challenge it. And the crew chief, Andy Fletcher, went over to the dugout and was like, no, you're not allowed to challenge it. The umpire ruled he pushed him off the bag. Momentum didn't carry it. You can't challenge that. So that was good. Because, that's a runner in scoring position taken away. What if Jazz came around to score? He didn't, but you never know. Cookie Carrasco, final line today. 5 1/3 innings as he's on Yes Network right now. I'll bring up some of the post-game stuff in a minute. 5 1/3, 5 hits, 3 earned, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts. The ERA is high because he's given up 3 runs in like 8 innings of work this year. But he looked really good today. He really, you know what? And he got the win. He looked good. He looks great. Yankees go on to win 9-7. Well, it was 9-3. How'd they get there? Boone, once again, played bullpen tightrope until he finally made a right decision this series. He played bullpen tightrope going to Ottavino, who walked and then got out of the jam. So, okay. Ottavino's looked actually not as awful as I thought this series. Still don't trust him. Then Yarborough comes in, gives up a walk, a single, a grand slam, then gets the next 2 out, and the next 2 allows a single. They go next 2. Did he allow a single? He allows the next 2 outs, and then they go to later. Well, I'm pulling it up. I don't want to get this wrong. Perdomo, ground out. Oh, he didn't allow a guy on. They went to lighter for Gurriel. Then line out for Eugenio Suarez against lighter. That was a nice play by Belly. Strikeout. Then Ketel Marte hit a single, a bloop single to Dominguez. I thought Dominguez could have came in on that ball. I don't know what the catch probability is. I'm going to find that out. I'll bring it up on the other screen once I have it. Probability MLB. I want to find what the catch probability on that ball was because I really thought he could have gotten there, and I was like, ooh, that's like a bad spot to have that drop in. And, that puts the tying run at the plate. That doesn't help things. Stack cast probability. There was. Can I find that? That should be here, right? The Yankees really dominated this game, even though, they gave it back. Who was it? Who hit it? Ketel Marte. Single. Where is it? Ketel Marte. Trying to find this. This Diamondback team's going to be good. Yeah. It was not a hard hit ball. The launch angle was low. All that stuff. It doesn't say the catch probability on that. I would love to know it, though. I mean, there was at no point, even when. So, I don't have a catch probability. If anyone knows what a good site to get catch probabilities on, I would love to know. But I don't have the catch probability on StatCast for that. I don't know if it takes time to update. Here. Actually, there's a Twitter account that has one. So let me see if I'm going to follow them. Let me see if they have... Oh, it's an automated one. They don't have any good ones. There was one... 28%. Oh, there was a 28% catch probability from Bellinger. Got one. That's good. I don't know where to get these catch prob. Let me go to catchprobability.com. Let's see if they have it. I mean, I do want to find this because I don't want to slander Dominguez on here after I'm about to compliment him. Just sends me right to their freaking Blue Sky. Oh, that was the against Slater. Okay, I remember that one. I just want to know the catch probability from Dominguez's ball. All right, well, I don't have it. Dominguez catch probability. So don't have that, but yeah, I mean, look. Dominguez isn't a bad fielder right now. He hasn't costed them anything yet. He's kind of mid right now for them. He hasn't costed them a game. Bellinger keeps getting outs above average. He's such a good outfielder. But Dominguez isn't even on this list. There was one yesterday that had like a 95% catch probability, and he didn't get to it. It was Sunday. Today's, I don't know. Of course, Judge is speaking. He's a class act. I didn't get to it. Whatever. No, it didn't come around to score. No harm, no foul. All right, so I said I was going to do it live, and I did. All right, Yankee pitching probabilities. It's going to be Max Fried versus Mitch Kelleher, Mark Stroman against Bailey Falter, and Will Warren against Andrew Heaney. Don't know what to make of this. Obviously, there are going to be some tough matchups. Mitch Kelleher, they might be able to get something on. I feel like they've roughed up either one of, if not both, Andrew Heaney or Bailey Falter in spring. This is a lineup, the Pittsburgh lineup, that I feel like Max Fried and Marcus Stroman should just dominate. They don't have a good lineup. They have a couple good guys. McCutcheon's good. O'Neal Cruz is okay. I want Brian Hayes to be a Yankee. So, Brian Cashman, if you're listening, you need a righty bat. Pittsburgh's not going anywhere. They're basement dwellers. Maybe make it a point to not leave Pittsburgh without coming back with Cabrian or heading to Detroit with Cabrian, because God, he would help. He would help a lot of things, honestly. Very good glove, okay hitter, but we'll figure it out. So that's that side. We're gonna do Boone's post game, and then we'll be good. Actually, you know what? We'll start with JC. All right. I like this kid a lot. I really do. I know his role is going to be minimal. Hopefully, you want his role to be I like him, but you want his role to be minimal, because if it's not, that means something happened to Wells, and you don't want that. I really like this kid a lot. What he overcame adversity, which is the word of the year. He overcame adversity to get to the major leagues. He had a really good at bat against a really good reliever to get on base, to get the double. Really special. I'm rooting for this kid. Here's Boone on Judge. Yep, everyone had good at bats, right? Yep, there we go. That's two. Dominguez had really good at bats today against Merrill Kelly. As the game went on, not so much. But I'm gonna give him a break, because as the game went on, the more higher leverage relievers came out. And I'm not knocking a kid. And Merrill Kelly's a very good pitcher. So I don't want to understate exactly what happened here tonight. And the Yankees trusted him in a real close game defensively. They were also handcuffed. But like I said, he's back. Okay, so Dominguez is batting 250 with a run, with a home run, 1 RBI, and a 798 OPS to start his season. That's really good. In 6 games, that's pretty good. You can't ask for, the world with this kid. You just want him to hit league average. Get hits, get on. You saw the Yankees stole 3 bases today. Rice stole a base, and he did it in a really important spot. He stole a base, and it ended up, got in on a run with the Judge single. Judge stole a base, ended up scoring on the Jazz home run. Jazz stole a base late in the game that, had a hit came after that, would have given an insurance run, and that would have helped the bullpen even more. You know, Luke Weaver coming in this game for a 6-out save tonight was kick ass. I mean, seriously, that was like pump me up, fire me up, Luke Weaver. He closed last year. I don't know what you do with the bullpen, but if Devin Williams can't show that he can close, man, just stick with Weaver, man. I like Williams a lot. I really like him. But man, if we have another nail biter like we did last Thursday on opening day with the save, that's a no-go for me. Maybe in higher leverage. I love Luke Weaver. I like him in a setup role. I like him in a closer role. I like him as a guy out off the field. Family man. He's very religious. Not that, I don't like people who aren't religious, but you know, he's really a good guy. And he stepped up last year in the biggest way, in a big spot where, you know what? Let's say the Yankees didn't have Luke Weaver last year. They might not have gotten to the World Series. Let's be real. Luke Weaver stepped up. And for him to step up today, Williams will rejoin the team tomorrow after paternity leave. So congratulations to the Williams family on the birth of their child. I don't know if it's a boy or a girl, so I'm just going to say child. Boone feels like Judge is still getting there. Okay. Would you like me to read Judge's numbers? Actually, I will, because I don't care. Judge in 24 bats, batting .417, 5 home runs, 15 ribbies, 1 stolen base with an OPS of 1.648. He has a higher batting average, more hits, more RBIs, more home runs than the entire Atlanta Braves team and the entire Colorado Rocky team, and he's still getting there. That's either he hasn't reached his potential yet, and I'm going to be Mr. Positive, or that's a slap in the face, because I think Judge is there. I think he's ready. Judge can't hit in the cold weather. I don't know why. I'm not a scientist. I don't know what mentally is with him in cold weather. He can't hit in the cold weather. The second I saw it's going to be 70 degrees first pitch today, I said to my dad he's going deep in the first inning. And the second he did, I texted my dad saying, see, I told you he went deep. And in the biggest spot, and I'll get to what Jazz just said because I'll pull that up. Cookie Carrasco on his start. I really like him. You're rooting for this guy. He's a vet. He's been pitching since before my sister's been born, which I think is funny. My dad texted me, "Who the fuck is this guy starting?" And I'm like giving him the backstory. He's like, "Oh," he's like, "So he's gonna get knocked around?" I'm like, "God, I hope not." He didn't. He pitched very well for someone who's 39 and didn't expect to be on a major league team and had a 5.5 ERA last year. He pitched pretty well today. I will mention this while she's talking about Ascara. Ascara framed very well behind home plate. He stole a couple calls today. There was one in particular that was like pretty outside that he got the call on. And he like brought it really in. The camera's there. I'm like, that was a really good frame job from a rookie catcher. Like, props to you, kid. Because the hit tool was what we were sold on. The catching, kind of like Wells, where we were sold on the hit tool. The catching, I don't know. He stole a lot of strikes tonight. It was good that Rob Drake from pitch 1 gave him an inch on the corner, which I like. I like when umpires give an inch on the corners. I don't like low and high because that pisses me off. Because a batter can chase the outside corner with the end of the bat and still flick it. A batter really, it's harder for a batter to chase low or up to foul it off or get a hit. It's easier for a batter to chase the outside corner. So I'm okay if an umpire gives like an inch, not like whole ball lengths off. That's when I go nuts, like Laz Diaz or Angel would give like all over or miss pitches like down the middle. There was an umpire the other day that just missed. What was this? Manny Gonzalez. Oh my God. There was one of the games I follow an account on X that's like umpire scorecards that like every morning my phone blows up when they tweet them all out. And his scorecard looked awful. Anyways, moving on. All right, so really good start from him. The Yes Network just posted the Judge one, so let me refresh and then I'll show that. I'll find the Jazz quote. They're playing it on Yes Now, but SNY did it. It's never about him. I don't even want to think about that. These, I'm gonna just keep playing this. Yeah, right. I did notice that.
Aaron JC's story is well publicized. Just what's the feeling like in this clubhouse seeing him make his first major league start and getting his first career win?
We're all excited. We're all pulling for that guy. We all know his story. But besides that, just the type of person he is. He'll battle through that type of adversity. He's coming here every single day with a smile on his face and trying to make guys better, trying to push guys all the way in spring training. Seeing it, it's fun to watch and fun to be around because he just brings a different energy into this clubhouse and it's contagious. But then for him to go out there with his first nine,
He does get them done in the first. I noticed that. Makes me happy because at least they lead off with an immediate run.
I think that chemistry they built kind of started in spring training and kind of went into this first start. So we're all excited to get to replay the video of the dugout. I'm pretty juiced for it. Since you won series, I guess when you had that $1 billion, just how much more that trades up for you guys. That's huge. That's huge. You can't replace it that way, but when you get a guy like Luke Weaver, we all saw what he did in the last month and a half with us, especially in the postseason. So to have him go out there, it was the agents on it. See some stuff on TV and just dotting all his pitches. Good feel for all his pitches. And then there in the last inning, good feel for the changeup, the fastball up and down the way. It's going to be a nasty combo in there at the back end. Yeah, definitely, especially after coming off opening day, that first series, going out there and scoring all the runs. We were talking about bats, talking about this and that. Just a lot of distractions. So I think guys can't get caught up in distraction. So you go out there and keep playing. So I think we all kind of locked it in. Big G said a couple words before the game just about his home turf. Go out there and get swept at home. So you guys took that to heart and really just have it last week.
I like that. I like that last statement, especially with the Big G spoke before the game. The Yankees this season, as I bring it home and start to end this, the Yankees this season have a very healthy mix of veterans who want to win and kids who are also trying to win. And I think this season that you have these veterans like Bellinger, Grisham, Stanton, Goldschmidt, Judge, obviously, 5 veterans who've been around. Bellinger's won. He won with LA. Bellinger's also lost. And the fact that, this clubhouse can rally around these guys, go out there and put up the performance they did is impressive. Now, I mentioned earlier Devin Williams joins the team tomorrow. That means someone will likely be designated for assignment or sent down in the bullpen. I don't know who that's going to be. I don't know if the Yankees are going to send Yarborough down after the outing. I don't know if they're going to designate Ottavino for assignment. If I'm the Yankees, I think that I would probably go to get rid of Yarborough. Brent Hedrick is also a guy, though, that has minor league options that they can send down if they want to keep both. But the fact of the matter is, the bullpen right now is not going to be the bullpen in a month. Ian Hamilton's going to join them on Monday in Detroit. So Hamilton, or at some point in Detroit, so Hamilton will be back, and that means another guy's gone. So I think you keep Ottavino against the Pittsburgh Pirates and DFA Yarborough tomorrow after that pathetic performance today. And then Ottavino's getting DFA'd either tomorrow or Monday. Yarborough's getting DFA'd either tomorrow or Monday. Or Hedrick gets sent down if he has a bad outing, which you never know. Then you have Loizaga coming back at some point. Cousins coming back at some point. You're then going to have a tough decision with Clark Schmidt coming back with either Cookie getting released or Will Warren getting sent down. If both are pitching well, Will Warren could even be put, or Cookie could even be put in the bullpen as a long guy, and then they send Hedrick down. Because you don't want to lose Carrasco. Even if, Carrasco's pitching okay, Like if he has a couple more outings and every outing's like a carbon copy of today. Because, let's call it like it is. A very good offense today. And, he actually, I'll say he dominated them. He really threw 2 bad pitches and got some unlucky calls. And can't kill him on that. And he owned it, but it is what it is. And if Carrasco has multiple more starts that look like this, then I think the Yankees would be happy and take that. I certainly would if I were them. And then what you do is, all right, you sit Will Warren down and say, hey, you're really pitching good, but we don't have a spot for you right now. Because let's say someone, God forbid, later in the season gets hurt, a starting pitcher. Wouldn't you rather have the luxury to call Warren up and just plug him into the spot and boom, and not then have to go pick up a starter if they, option Cookie or DFA him? It'd be easier on Cashman's wallet. A lot of talk today about Sandy Alcantara. Alcantara is how his name's pronounced. And, a trade. And obviously the fucking Queens crew thinks that they're going to get him. And they're already mentioning, oh, we want, he'd be great here. Yeah. All right. You're probably going to get him because you have a better farm system, but who are you going to give up? Because the Yankees, if they're going to trade for Alcantara, it's going to start the list, the King's ransom starting with Lombard, and the Yankees just aren't doing it, and nor should they. There are certain classes of prospects, there are certain guys you want to protect. Lombard Jr. is one of them. Spencer Jones is not. Spencer Jones at this point, if there's a move that he's the piece that the other team wants, and it's a move that makes you better, you do it. You trade him. Because there are holes in his swing. George Lombard Jr. is a different story because I feel like the Yankees can always use infield depth coming through the pike. I don't really see them going out there and getting a Vlad Guerrero Jr. in the offseason. If they're going to get anyone, Kyle Tucker, which an extension could be on the table in Chicago, which would change a lot of things. Devin Williams actually mentioned the other day that he's open to an extension with the Yankees, which I thought was interesting. He likes it here a lot. The clubhouse is great. The guys are great. He really, really likes it. He really likes being a Yankee. So that gives me some promise for Devin. Luke Weaver is another guy I'd extend. The question was flowing around, the young kids. Do we want to extend the young kids? And I don't know who you extend right now. I really don't know who you extend. I mean, Wells hasn't, not that he hasn't done enough, but he hasn't, I don't know. Dominguez, but you could say the same for Christian Campbell for Boston, which was a great, scoop to get on Tuesday afternoon. I don't know. If Dominguez starts going off by the trade deadline, I'd lock his ass up long term. You don't want him hitting the open market because God knows that, the Yankees might not keep him. I'll leave it with this. Yankees are able to win today. They have a happy flight tonight into tomorrow. Pittsburgh home opener. Their offense is okay. Their pitching, besides Paul Skeens, Bailey Falter's actually not bad. Their offense is okay. Their pitching is Besides, actually, no, I'll take that back. Their pitching's their strong spot. Their offense is not. They don't hit. And you're pitching, let's be real here. You're pitching Stroman and Fried in 2 of the 3 games, and Warren looked good last week. You should very easily be able to take 2 out of 3. Very easily. And then you're going to Detroit. Skubal pitched yesterday, got knocked around by Seattle. I don't know what his numbers are on the year, but Scoobs dealt against the Yankees last year. And actually, that was another game. The Yankees were winning the game, and Clay blew it. Let's see. Seattle. I believe it was yesterday. Yeah, Skubal's 0-2 with a 5.91 ERA on the year. 10 and 2/3 innings pitched, 10 strikeouts. So about a strikeout an inning, a little less than. I don't think he has a history of getting off to start like this. He's getting up 12 hits, 7 earned runs, 3 homers, throwing 173 pitches, 4 walks, 10 strikeouts, with a 279 batting average against. Judge did get him, I believe, at the stadium last year. That's important. So since he pitched yesterday, I think that sets him up to go Monday against the Yankees. It's not officially listed, but it should be him against Rodon, Sunday against the Yankees. On Monday, and then it'll be Carrasco against, who do they have going tomorrow? They didn't play today. It would be, actually, I don't know what their matchup would be. He's going game 1 or game 2. I don't know when he's going, but we're probably seeing Tarek Skubal. And he has not pitched well this year, so you know he's going to be looking for a redemption start. Jack Flaherty goes for them tomorrow. When does Reese go for them? Oh, no, I don't want that. Come on. Why does the MLB app have to be so fucking complicated? Sorry for my language, but this is frustrating. Because I've been on for an hour, which is like a lot for me. But I'm going to get off now. Okay, Reese is going on Saturday, so we probably don't see him. And Jackson Jobe, we're not going to see. He's going Sunday. So who went against Seattle on Tuesday? Casey Mize, who didn't give up a run. Okay, that's also Seattle. So we're probably going to see Casey Mize, Tarek Skubal, and Jack Flaherty. So that's what you're looking at. Looking ahead, obviously injuries can derail things. Obviously other things can derail things. But, the Yankees have very winnable series coming up. So let's see what they do. Not a great series against Arizona. Could have won 2 of 3. Realistically, they could have won 2 of 3, but they didn't. But we settle. Winning homestand. You head to Pittsburgh with a winning record. You head to Pittsburgh. 3rd place, I believe. I'm going to check right now. Second place in the American League East. A half game behind Toronto, who has played a game more than us this year, has lost the same amount. Toronto will probably fall off. They play the Mets tomorrow. So as much at the Mets home opener. So as much as it pains me to say, we are Mets fans for the next 3 days. Yikes. Because I want Toronto to get knocked down in the standings, and I want the Yankees to kind of help. So that's going to be all for me. Thank you so much. Please subscribe. Please like my videos, all that stuff. Follow on all socials. If you follow that, you get more of a beat reporter experience at @mnethercott_. If you follow 161st and River, that's more of a fan experience. So follow both or follow one or the other. But they're both run by me. Thank you so much and have a great night. Let's go Yankees.